Hello and welcome. A few days ago, I created a video for parents and student athletes with regard to how a lineup is constructed by both high school coaches as well as college coaches in professional baseball as well. Today, I'm going to cover the other side and we're going to talk defensive positioning. A lot of parents are always asking me what's the best position for their son to play. So I thought I would go through the diamond position by position and kind of give you some coaching cues that coaches, when they're evaluating, what are they looking for specifically at each position. And I would love for you to, before we get started, hit that thumb. Make sure we give us a thumbs up, notification, engage with the video. It helps the video. It helps the channel grow, and that's really my hope moving forward in 2025 is to kind of present content for parents as well as student athletes at all levels, so that you have a better understanding of not only the recruiting process but really what coaches are looking for and what they're thinking. Each position carries a certain responsibility, and there is no such thing as a minimal position. Every single position in baseball is extremely valuable. And I'm going to start at a position that most parents, as well as younger student athletes, really think is a slight or it's kind of an embarrassment when they're asked to play right field. When we think of right field throughout the course of baseball, we think of guys like Roberto Clemente. You start to think about Aaron Judge and Juan Soto in today's world. Aaron Judge used to be a right fielder. I know he plays a lot more center today. But look at we look at all of these athletes, and they have one thing in common when they play right field: athletic, strong arm, physically built, hit for power, hit for average. They run really well. They have advanced plus foot speed. So playing right field is not a negative. There's no negative connotation when it comes to being asked to play right field. And I get it, at the younger levels, not a lot of baseballs find their way to right field. But as you progress through the game, and I always tell parents, one of the best athletes I ever had the opportunity to see and watch on a daily basis was Rhett Weissman. And he is a center fielder. He's from Massachusetts, but he played for Vanderbilt during the 2012 2015 years, won a national championship. And he was a center fielder all through high school, an elite, nationally ranked high school center fielder. And in college, he was a right fielder. And he actually made probably the play of the 2014 World Series based on his athleticism, his foot speed, positioning, playing right field. Typically, college coaches, high school coaches are looking for the elite athlete with the strongest arm, with the strongest bat, hits for average, can runs really, really well, takes great routes to the ball. And playing right field is a craft. The ball comes off of a bat and especially off of a right-hander's bat, and tends to take what they call a banana route, going from the field of play to the right field foul line. And it really takes a lot of repetitions to learn how to be an elite right fielder. Also, you think of arm strength. A lot of runners on first trying to take that extra base on a base hit to right, trying to get to third. You have to have a strong and accurate arm to be able to throw base runners from first to third, second to home, etc. A lot of balls that are hit against high level velocity from both right-handed pitchers and left-handed pitchers, they're facing elite right-handed hitters that understand how to drive the ball backside and take the ball into the right center gap, as well as the left-hand hitting power hitters that are pulling baseballs, secondary pitches, etc. So right field is the elite athlete of the outfielders, and they have all the attributes that I mentioned earlier. Center field. Center field tends to have probably a elite foot speed being measurable 6'7" and below. Typically, at the higher levels of college, the center fielder covers a lot of ground. You get into college stadiums, they're generally 400, 405 feet. And in the alleys, it's somewhere between 475, 385 feet. A lot of ground to cover. So they have to have really elite foot speed. So if you are an outfielder and you don't have that sub 7 foot speed, chances of you being a center fielder in college are probably minimal. And if you have elite foot speed and you don't quite have that elite arm strength, you have good arm strength, but you don't have the elite arm strength, you're going to play, center field more often than not. Center fielders typically are those top of the order, top of the lineup guys, back of the order guys. They have a lot of foot speed, put balls in play, cause a lot of issues on the base paths, but defensively, they hit cutoffs. They're able to take great routes. They're able to cover a lot of grounds, and they are the captain of the outfield. The center fielder is the captain of everything. They move the right and left fielder around. They're getting signals from the middle infielders and then positioning the corner guys accordingly. So you are the captain of the outfield defense, and you're asked to cover ground, keep balls in front, don't allow a lot of gaps or balls to be hit into gaps, and you're a good communicator with regard to your corner outfielders. Left fielder. Left fielder at the college level typically is the best hitter of all of the other positional players that he's not able to find a spot either at first, third, or in right or center, but he's an elite hitter. The left fielder is going to be asked to cover ground, but not to the degree that the right and the center fielder are. Typically has a good arm, does not have to have an elite arm. A lot of times, if you think at ballparks like Fenway or the Hawk in Nashville at Vanderbilt, they have that big left field wall behind them. They get a lot of bounces off of the wall. They have to be able to hit cutoffs, but they are typically the best hitter that did not find their way into an infield position or doesn't have the foot speed to play either right or center. Bear in mind, left field is a production bat in a lineup. So when you're a left fielder at the high school level, be aware you're going to have a lot of competition that's going to end up in left field because of their ability to hit, and they might not have those transferable defensive skills, whether it's foot speed or arm strength. They're going to end up in left field. Now I'm going to start the infield at the catching position. College coaches are looking for three things. The very first thing is they're looking for how they receive a baseball. How strong are their hands? How quiet are their hands? What does their base look like? Are they able to be able to present baseballs to umpires? A lot of parents and a lot of student athletes, they get all caught up in pop time and throws to second. That's a minimal part of the catching position. It definitely comes into play, but it's a minimal part. When a coach puts a lineup together, he wants to know, how does my catcher receive a baseball? How does he keep balls in front? Is he very, very aggressive and can handle with confidence keeping balls in front? When you have a runner on third, less than 2 outs, you don't want to have a catcher that's afraid to keep balls in front, and they only call fastballs and they avoid the secondary pitches. You need a catcher that not only can receive the ball well, but keeps a baseball in front so that pitchers have complete confidence and conviction in each pitch that they throw, that their catcher will be there to bail them out in case they spike a ball or throw a ball in the dirt. Next, how does a catcher handle a pitching staff? Are they authoritative? Are they a leader? Are they able to communicate? Are they able to keep their pitches calm? Do the pitchers want to throw to that catcher? A lot of times college coaches will communicate with pitchers, and pitchers are very finicky. They're very particular, and they want to throw to catchers that make them look good, that they have confidence in. So if you're looking to catch at the college level or the high levels of high school, first primary function, learn how to receive velocity, learn how to receive spin. Integral part of developing as a catcher. It is a craft. Anybody can play catch, but it takes an elite level of being able to receive velocity and spin. Catching bullpens will help. So I always recommend younger catchers catch advanced pitchers, older pitchers. They will teach you how to catch them, how to receive them, and what they're looking for, how to get that thumb underneath, and how to receive the baseball without a lot of movement within your hands. That is integral part. Pop time, throwing to bases, footwork. Can't stress this enough. you need to really work on your footwork with regard to catching. That's what's going to lead you to becoming a good throwing catcher. Throwing catchers develop arm strength and arm health through repetition, much like pitchers do. But don't worry so much about your ability to throw and what your pop times are. Make accurate throws and then build strength into those accurate throws. Always remember every ball that you throw to a base, if it's a foot or two to the right or the left, it's going to take the infielder a tenth of a second or 2/10 of a second to apply that tag. So you want accuracy before you get strength or velocity. Next, let's go into the middle of the diamond. The middle of the diamond, which consists of shortstop, second base, and obviously center field. Foot speed is a key metric when it comes to being able to play the middle of the diamond. Anybody can play shortstop if they have a strong arm when they're younger, but feet actually field baseballs. Feet take you to the ball in order for you to field it and then subsequently throw the baseball. So being a good middle infielder requires foot speed, athleticism, creativity, arm strength. If you have both of those, as far as the ability to have foot speed to get you to the ball and then arm strength to get rid of the ball in an accurate manner repeatedly, you're going to find yourself to be between the third baseman and the first baseman. A lot of double plays, which are the pitcher's best friend, are turned by your shortstop and your second baseman. A lot of them are turned left to right, meaning the third baseman is throwing the ball to the second baseman to complete the double. So, second base and shortstop. I always tell young athletes be prepared to play all infield positions, learn the nuances. Second base and shortstop are about angles, taking good routes to the baseball, getting your eyes low to the baseball. Coaches are evaluating, do you get your rear end down, which subsequently brings your eyes down to the baseball? Are your eyes behind your glove, behind the baseball? Don't get so consumed with having two hands at all times to field the baseball. Because in the middle of the diamond, and you watch guys like Dansby Swanson, the elite defensive middle infielders, a lot of it is one hand. They're fielding it, if we think Derek Jeter in the hole, it's one hand, backhand, and then a jump. So you have to understand your eyes have to be engaged with regard to defense, and then you have to have that cannon strapped to your right shoulder. Goes without saying, middle infielders are going to be right-handed with regard to throwers. You're not going to find any left-handers, unfortunately. But the biggest thing to understand is foot speed. Generally, 7 to 6.6 in that range is going to be a desirable foot speed metric. Typically, your shortstops are a little bit faster. Shortstops are going to be someone that is a leader, understands and controls tempo of the game. The shortstop is going to control all of your infielders and outfielders from a positioning standpoint. Coaches are looking for leaders on the field. That's where your shortstop has to be verbal, has to be somebody that everybody trusts when it comes to not only defensive positioning, but pace and tempo of a game. Next, your second baseman tends to be the guy that might be a little bit shorter with regard to arm strength, but also maybe a little bit shorter with regard to foot speed. Typically, second basemen are the reverse of your shortstop, might be a tick slower. Typically, your second baseman is somebody that's very sure-handed, can take and transfer. Transfer skills at both shortstop and second baseman are an integral part. We can take ground balls till the cows come home, but one of the parts of defensive positioning is being able to transfer from the glove to the throwing hand in a very fast, consistent time period. And so when you're younger, you want to watch guys in videos from like Omar Vizquel, some of the elite shortstops where you watch them take the ball during catch play and get it right into their throwing hand. Those are where those two corner guys are. First baseman, third baseman, reactionary positions. First basemen tend to be the left-handed guys with a glove, easier to apply the pickoff throws. They tend to be more fluid around the bag because they're not reaching over there. I'm right-handed, so I have to reach across the throw on a left-hander, where somebody that has their glove on their right hand, they have access to the whole diamond. They're really getting throws from all over the field. third basemen tend to be slower than the middle infielders, foot speed wise. They have a very strong arm. Both the first and third basemen tend to be thumpers, middle of the lineup, 3, 4, 5, and 7 hole. You tend to be very reactionary, very athletic. If you watch guys like Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, when he first came up with the Cubs as a third baseman, extremely athletic. You know, they call it the hot corner. Both first and third are the hot corners, whether it's a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter. But you have to be able to field, really hard line drives, hard ground balls. You have to be able to throw accurately across the diamond. It's the longest throw across the diamond from third to first and first to third, potentially on a pickoff play. And so those guys that are at the corners tend to be bigger, stronger, middle of the order, less foot speed centric, much different than the middle, the center field, second baseman, and shortstop. I hope this helps. I hope this kind of gives you some ideas. If you'd like me to, kind of add additional comments onto this, go ahead and comment down below. Keep the questions coming because this is the type of content that is being requested by parents as well as athletes, and that's what makes this channel tick. So have a great baseball season. Keep the questions coming.